Hey everybody, this is Anjanette from AJ's Personal Touch. How you doing? I welcome into my subscribers and welcome back to anybody new. I just did that backwards. Welcome back to my subscribers and welcome in to anybody new. Sorry, it's just one of those days. I woke up with a massive migraine. If any of you guys watched, I can't remember which video from yesterday because I put two up. I had trigger point shots done in my traps back here. I had two of them down low and then two of them up here in my neck. And it makes it so almost kind of like Botox, um, I guess, because the areas with Botox, you can't move them for a while. Well, I can move them, because it like didn't affect the whole muscle, but you can feel bumps from where it goes in for a little while because that's the medicine still being there. So my neck gets really stiff and the muscle gets kind of swollen for a little while. And I always end up with a headache, usually that day. But this one I did fine yesterday for some reason. And maybe it's because I was already drinking coffee for a small headache, and coffee can help me with some migraines. But anyway, I don't know why. I think I know why. Because when you go to sleep, all of your muscles relax, and if you have a tense muscle, it can end up hurting more. Um, so that's why, like my knee, when I have issues with it, when I go to sleep, it hurts more because the rest of the muscles get relaxed, and then it doesn't have them stabilizing it as well as it should be. So, yeah, something I learned again while I was in massage school. Anyway, we are here because it's Friday, and that means it is feline, nope, Furtastic Feline Fiesta Friday. And that means it is making cat toy day. And I to show you my progress from what I started on last week, which is very little. First of all, I'm using a size 1, I think, yarn. It has to be a size 1. I lost the label on this. I know I have more, but I think it's classified as a 1. If not, it's classified as sport, which I guess it could be that too. Anyway, I'm using this. I am using it. Oh, I thought I was using it in a way that it's tripled, but I guess not. I'm using it at the small size because I wanted to see how large this fish would come out using the tinier yarn, which is actually what it was called for. Um, I had made a couple rows and I had to go back and frog because I had counted wrong and increased a little bit wrong. But this is where I am so far. I know I spent a lot of the hour last week taking care of other business that I had to do or finding things for the people who were there. If you come in to the virtual chat when we do it, if like you need the link to the pattern, or different things, I will get that for you and do it for you. So I was finding things like that for people. And so you know, I didn't get to start until later, which is fine because, I love the talking and the interacting. And if I have time, I usually spend the rest of that day working on just cat toys, which I can't do right now. So, right now it's what I get done while I am there. Um, and we're usually there for about an hour. So actually, I think that is not bad for doing as much as I was doing, plus, only being there for that time. Hopefully, hopefully it'll be done for you guys next week. If not, you'll see the progress because I will mark that spot. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great and wonderful day. And for those of you who want to join, we are going to be having today's, I guess you can call it a crochet along, but today's cat making virtual chat in my chat room on Facebook at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 5 o'clock Central Standard Time, 4 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, and 3 o'clock Pacific. So I hope you can be there. It's about 3 hours away. So I'm going to be getting things done to prepare. Like I said, I woke up with a migraine. I've taken my medicine. I'm hoping that will be gone. That's one reason why I'm doing it a little bit later than usual. Um, and plus, I have other things to work on and do. So I hope to see you there. I want to see as many people there as possible who would love to be there, who have the time. And if you guys, sorry, that's my reminder that if my husband's still sleeping, to wake him up for work. Anyway, if you guys want to make cat toys, it's been a while since I put the free the links to some of the free toys. If you want those, let me know and I will get them put up in a comment or down below in the description, and or just send them to you personally. I also have a couple. Why have I been not thinking of this word this whole week? Patterns. I work with patterns all the time, so I can't believe I keep forgetting the word patterns. This has happened to me like 4 times this week. Anyway, you don't need to know all that. I have some patterns that I was given the okay that I can send to anybody who wants them. So if you need them, if you want them, send me an email and I can send them to you. Then I think I already told you guys the June occasion that they needed toys for, they had to cancel. So toys are not needed now until September. So if you want to make them, if this is your first time here and you don't know, what Friday's Fantastic Feline Fiesta Friday stands for, we make cat toys and I donate them to a mission here that's called Meow Mission. And it is a mission that they do trap and release, which is they have people who volunteer to have a community of feral cats in their neighborhood, which my husband and I have done. We put food out for the feral cats. We have a couple, I want to say housing units. I can't think of the other word that I normally use. Sorry for that. Um, but just structures that they can go in and be out of the elements when they need to. We got them before winter last year, and I know we had a couple of cats who were residing within the dwellings, I guess is a better word for it. And we could hear them come and go. By the way, this is Kalua for anybody who is new. Some people have dubbed her my co-host. You will see her from time to time. She doesn't show up as much as usual as she used to. She used to be here every single time she heard me say, "Hi, this is Anjanette." Um, because, just because her mama's talking and she wanted to be near. Anyway, we I make toys. I've had people donate toys who want to donate for a cause like this. Oh, anyway, I forgot, I was explaining it more. They have people who host the community, and then once, the cats get used to coming and eating and stuff at certain times, they will schedule a day, which is a Sunday. But the week before, they bring out traps, and what we need to do is have the food, you know, outside of the trap at first, and then slowly move it inside so they get used to going inside of it. And then the day they do their trapping, we put tuna on the traps. So, a very smelly, what the cats want. and they will go inside to get the tuna, and then the trap will release because they're in far enough. They set the trap um, so that then it will release, and then they put these nice covers over the traps so they can feel safer and not see, that they're moving around on the outside. And they pile them up in a car, and then they take them to the building, and they take care of them that night. They make sure they're hydrated and stuff, and they get them ready to have surgery the next morning. And then there are two vets in our area who spend the whole day um, neutering and spaying all of the kitties. And then they go back to the Meow Mission building, and the volunteers take care of them again the next day, that day, and then they bring them back on Tuesday to where they caught them from, and they release them back into their community. The reason they do this is for two reasons. One, to stop the cats, from mating and having more kittens, and just making the feral community larger than what it already is. And two, to lengthen the life of all of the feral cats who are living out there, because once they are fixed, they are nicer to each other and they don't get into as many cat fights. And plus, if the females are fixed, the males aren't fighting over, the females. So it calms them down some so that they're not always fighting with each other. So this is a mission that we believe in. We had some feral cats, actually, a little bit, who that was when I tried taping the first time. She was up in the window when I started taping, but this is my second taping, my redo. Anyway, she was feral cat outside, and if you look at her close, you'll see that her ear is tipped, because they tip their ear so people know when they see them that that has been a cat that has been taken care of. Also, if there's something wrong with that cat, they will come back and bring a trap so that we can catch and release. So they can take it into the vet to be seen. Um, so we just got a trap brought to us because one of the feral cats out there has a collar. And, and at first we thought, oh, maybe it just got out of the house and, it's gone back home, but it's been around here now for about 4 months, and that collar is starting to dig into the kitty's neck. So we're concerned about it, leading to suffocation. So they brought out a trap so that they can trap the kitty and then take it and get the collar off, but then to check it also for a chip to see, if it belongs to somebody and where its home is, so that they can, send it back home with, the people who own the cat. And if that doesn't happen, I don't know if they will do this time while they have it, because although it is if, okay, yeah, my husband just said yes. Um, if they don't find that it has a chip and that it has a home, they will go ahead and take care and spay or neuter, because we don't know if it's male or a female, um, the cat, and they will bring it back here and release it. So, yeah, we haven't been able to catch it yet, but hopefully soon, and I will, keep you guys appraised of that when it happens. But we just love our, kitties around here, and we want them to be safe and taken care of. And yeah, as you guys, some of you who are older viewers know that Little Bit's not the only one who came in. Charcoal came in as well, and he is a beautiful Russian blue cat, and he is so loving and very, very protective. And he was missing being outside so much that, I mean, as soon as we opened, he was waiting at the door, and he just has enough force to him that, we could not keep him in. He barreled out past my husband when he came home from work one day, and it was still the time of year where it was warm and then getting cold, and warm getting cold, and then it was like cold again. So he did end up coming back in because he was cold, but he went back out as soon as it was warm. So he does not want to be in here. He's miserable, and he tries every way he can to get out. So we said we would never have a cat that would go back and forth. We do keep him flea treated, and all the other cats as well then. And we are letting him come in when he wants to come in. It was way too hot the other day. He came in because it was still very hot at night, and he came in, he cooled off, and then he went back out within like a half an hour. He came over to see me, and I pet him, and he went to my husband and laid with him for a while, and then he went to get a drink, and he's like, okay, it's time to go back outside. So, and he spends most of his time on our porch at least three-fourths of the day. The other time he goes around, looking around. Or if he's not on our porch, he's under my husband's car, that's in the driveway. And that's where he stays. And sometimes, if, you know, when my husband goes to work, we do have another vehicle out there, but if he doesn't want to go under that one, he'll go under the neighbor's car as well. The neighbor is aware that he's there. And I guess he spends some time in his backyard, he said. So, as my husband says, go out and live your best life to him when he's going outside. He's definitely happy. Um, we may have to have them come out and trap him again sometime too, because he does have something that's starting to go on in his mouth, to have him checked out. But he spends his time out there basically protecting us. I mean, he will lay on top of a chair. He's gotten on top of the recycling bin. And I have watched him through our video cam because he will set it off when he moves up higher. And he will just sit there and watch and keep watch over the house. I went to the neighbors the other day taking a letter that had been delivered to us over there. And that was the day that I was able, to show him who Charcoal was, and tell him that he basically is our cat, but we can't keep him inside, explain that to him. And he said, yeah, that's when he told me he'd seen him in the backyard, but Charcoal followed me there. That's why he got to see him. He saw that I was going next door, and he followed me the whole entire way, and he stayed by me because he was protecting me. Um, he doesn't let me go to walk to any of, the close neighbors' houses if I'm taking them something without following me. He's like, okay, mom, I'm with you. I'm taking care of you. And then as soon as I get back here, he goes about and does, whatever he wants. And plus, I go outside every day and I spend at least a half an hour with him out there petting him and, showing him that, mama's still here and she's going to take care of him. And my husband, every time he goes outside, he pets him, and, he knows he's still part of the family. And my daughter was here for her birthday last week, and he just loves her. Um, he was a little weary at first when he's outside. Inside, he was all over her because at one time, for those who've been watching know, she had taken him home, and it was a process for her to get him. And I think he's afraid of being taken back because it was not a good thing with her cats that were in the house. They acted in ways they never have before, and so she said it's just not a good environment for him to be here. And he was brought back here, and then stayed outside, and then he came in the winter time when it was too cold. So we know he'll be back in this winter, and we watch over him. We take care of him. We heard a cat crying yesterday outside of the window, and I was pretty sure it was him. And because your kitty's cries. And we went out there, and he wasn't where we had heard the cries. He had already gotten to the porch, and he was underneath a chair. So we came back and found him there. We were like, okay, we passed you. So yeah, he's very well taken care of. And but I wanted to tell you again about Meow Mission because I know I have had some new subscribers, and not everybody goes back to watch things. But if you go to the playlist on Fantastic Feline Friday, I think in the first couple I may have posted those patterns. But again, my email is always listed below. If you want to email me and ask me about getting patterns, you can do that. And I am out of here. If you guys come to the chat, I will see you there. And if not, I hope to meet you sometime soon. Remember, I love to get to know all of my subscribers. And if you ever want to, send me an email and I will email, back to you. And you never know. I've made a couple really great friendships, and a couple of them started that way. So I will see you later. Have a wonderful Friday. And remember always, you matter no matter if anybody makes you feel like you don't. And please always remember you are beautiful and gorgeous, and I love every one of you. See you later.